Joe is there. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra.
Endgame program, and be done with them.
And we are live, guys. This one's a unique one. I don't know how many people show up tonight because it's an early edition of SwishPOP, a late night stream, Transformers and GIJoe stream. Yeah, totally offer game. I always advertise that the stream starts at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and tonight some stuff has changed and I had to start at 10:30, so it's an hour earlier than we usually go live. So you know what, I might be talking to myself tonight, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, anyways, we will get into it. So long story short, sorry, I'm just trying to get comfortable here. Long story short, I actually had to cancel last week's stream. Just a second out. Had to cancel last weekend stream. Some family stuff came up. I didn't realize my kids were on March break and they're both off. I have two kids, and long story short, they would have been up and around, and it just would have been a hot mess to stream with them around. So decided, I'll cancel it, come back this week. And now, kids. Turns out my oldest will always have a rugby practice on Monday mornings at 6 a.m. in the morning. So I don't know if I'll be able to do late night streams anymore on Sundays. So you know what? We're going to try tonight at 10:30. It's a little earlier. It's an hour earlier than we usually do it, but maybe that'll work for a different crew of people. I'm not really sure. So, you know what? Maybe some of the regulars will show up a little late. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. And we'll get into it. Now, like always, we'll always do a little housekeeping here, and I like to go over, possibly some pickups at the old thrift store, some mail calls, and just some regular pickups before we get into maybe talk about some G.I. Joe or Transformers. So yeah. So we're going to start off. What are we going to start off? I got my list here. So basically, you know what, guys? I posted this on one of the groups that I'm in, and I really do have this idea that we live in the Matrix, and you're like, this guy's insane, but that's a joke or whatever. Obviously, when I was the Matrix has had a big effect on my life or whatever, because it came out when I was younger. Long story short, so Friday, was it Friday? It was like Thursday or Friday last week. It was a slow day at work, and I was watching some stuff on YouTube related to the new Loyal Subjects mask releases and how people say like the quality is a little down on them. Anyways, long story short, watch some videos about that. After work, I always kind of usually go to the thrift store on the way home. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to find mask stuff at the thrift store, because a lot of it doesn't have any outward signs that it's say a vintage toy. If you were not aware of what it was, you would just think it was a car or a truck or a vehicle of some sort. Unlike say Transformers that has Autobot and Decepticon logos on it, or even G.I. Joe stuff that has big G.I. Joe or Cobra logos on it. Most of the mask toys don't have outward symbols on them. Anyways, long story short, so I go into the thrift store, just random, and you never know what you're going to find. And, I'm sort of sifting through things or whatever. And right away, I was like, oh, and there was this car, and it was a car in a bag, and it was black with red stripes on it. And I thought it was a mask. I think it's a Raven. And it's a black car with stripes on it. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And I'm like, oh, that turned out to be just some kind of like car, you know, just some kid's toy or whatever. And that's fine. And I'm sorting through because there's rows and rows and rows of, you know, cars and action figures and stuff that I looked at the thrift store. And next thing, I'm like going down, I'm a little lower, and there was actually a mask Raven there. It was really weird. So like, it's like you put the vibes out there in the universe, and sometimes it just happens. It's really weird. Yeah. So long story short, so this is a Raven from Mask. You know, it opens up and you press the button and it flips around and you got some, you know, stuff like this. It's pretty cool or whatever. I do collect Max now. I already have one of these, but this one was in particularly better condition than one I had. But the thing was, whoever put it out on the shelf or whatever, right? Whoever put it on the shelf, they didn't bother to open it. So it was in a baggie, and I was looking at it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick it up anyways, even though I already have one. But, you know, it's trade fodder. And you can't leave vintage toys at the thrift store. Like, you have to pick them up. It's a matter of principle, right? Anyways, so I picked it up, and when I got to the car, I opened it. And when I opened it, the figure was inside of it. As well, the figure had the mask on it. So it was 100% complete. Or like, no, it doesn't have the projectiles that's supposed to come with, but that's fine. That's understandable. So this was, I think I paid $2.99 for it or whatever. And that's pretty sweet. Anyway, so that was a sweet pickup. This was, you know, sometimes the thrift store is completely dry. Anyways, guys, let me know if the audio is good. I'm always worried that the audio is going to be off. Is there no audio? Just 1 second, guys. Oh, 1 second. Them up. It's a matter of okay, it looks like there's audio. Okay, I was worried there for a second. It was muted. Sorry, guys. I was like, no, nobody told me there was no audio. There's audio. Anyways, that was a sweet, sweet pickup at the thrift store this week. Really happy with that. Then, second, I'll go through this very quickly. This was a complete impulse buy. I've been working on a Sega Genesis collection as well. And this, I ran into the thrift store, and it was like $5.99. And I have, second itchy nose. I had a very fond memories of playing FIFA Soccer on Sega Genesis back in the day. And greetings from Ireland. Whoa, that's really far away. Hello. Welcome to the channel. Stay a while. Anyways, so I have fond memories of FIFA for Sega Genesis. I had this as a kid, and you know what? The package, the box art and everything was crazy. The quality's good. So I was like, you know what? For $5.99, I'm going to add it to the collection. So I added it to the collection, and then I actually added this to the collection as well this week. Mortal Kombat 2, which was one of my all-time favorite video games as a kid. I remember I saved up my own money and I was able to buy this back in the day. And I think back in the day, it cost me like $101 Canadian. Sega Genesis games were expensive, man. Anyways, so that's pretty sweet. I'm so happy. Basically, my Genesis collection's almost done because I only wanted a few of them. Anyways, so that was that. Anyway, so we'll get to some quick mail calls. Got a couple things here to open for you guys. So what do we got first? Let's go with this big one. I think I know what this is. I'm always worried with big ones that you're going to cut what's ever inside. Okay, opened up. Let's see what we got here. I don't know what this is. Oh, geez. Wow. That's hilarious. So I thought, you know, it's so funny, guys, because I opened this stuff live for you or whatever. And I really thought this was something else based on the size of the package, because I'm waiting on something else. And I had this whole story. And this is actually, sorry if that's loud. So this is actually 2 more Mask figures that I got in a sale on Facebook. And they actually include both their masks, so that's pretty sweet. So that adds to the collection there too. So we got the Gator guy, and I think his name's Billy. He belongs to the Boulder Hill playset. Anyways, they have their masks, so that is pretty sweet. It's a mask kind of thing here on the show tonight. So that's pretty sweet. So I actually thought that was a book that somebody was sending me, but it turned out not to be a book. So that's really weird, and I can't remember, okay? I couldn't remember what I did with the second package. So I always got to be careful here not to dox anyone and show people's address on the screen. So let me get this one open. Let's see what we got in here. Bust this one open, and, okay, open. And let's see what we got here. So, people always do their stuff up so crazy. Second now, guys. I should, you know what? Maybe I should start pre-opening these off screen so they're not such a cumbersome thing to do, because people do them so tight and stuff like that. And I'm trying to think. Gotta get the spectacles down for a second, guys. Okay, I gotta cut this in here. So this was another sale that I picked stuff up, and I got a figure, but you know what? The person was giving away a couple free file cards. So I got, what is this? Dreadnought Ripper. It looks like it's got some sparkles on it. That's hilarious. Like some really girly sparkles on it. Somebody's little sister must have got to this one. And then I got Hit and Run as well. And the guy was giving it away for free. I wasn't sure if I had these in my collection. So I was like, you know what? I'll take them for free or whatever. Anyway, so I'll have to check that, get the old collection out. And then what we got here is a modern day O-ring. This is really, it's never, yeah. A modern day O-ring Cobra Commander. And you know what? The reason why I wanted to get this, so like I obviously have a vintage Cobra Commander in my case, in my collection or whatever. But you know what? Sometimes, like, so this one is an O-ring and it's a modern one. And I wanted it because I wanted to be able to play with one. Not play with one, but like maybe if I want to do a diorama, or maybe if I want to do like a video or something like that. I wanted to be able to have and hold one in my hand. I didn't have to worry about, say, breaking the vintage one. So this is why I picked up this. I think this cost me like $10 or $15 or whatever. And you know what? It's pretty sweet. It comes with a ton of accessories. He's got like binoculars, he's got a gun, a data pad, his vintage gun, a cane with the snake on it, and a stand. So really crazy stuff there. And yeah, so that's pretty sweet. I'm pretty happy with that. So that guy, he is not going to go in the case because he's modern vintage or whatever. So I will keep him out and about, and he'll probably go up on my display. You guys can't see it. I always talk about it, but so I have, obviously you can see the one monitor here. There's a second monitor right here, but in front above the monitors, there's two shelves. And that's what I basically have on that's where I put my new stuff. That like, stuff that comes in, I put it up there or whatever temporarily until it can find a home in the collection somewhere. Anyways, so that is really sweet. Really like that. Really nice pickup. With the mask figures, that is pretty sweet. So pretty rocking the stuff. And of course, absolutely loving the Mortal Kombat 2 edition from Sega Genesis. I grew up on Mortal Kombat, and I've been looking for that one for a while. There's just something about the artwork about it that I absolutely love, and I just wanted to make sure I added it to my very small Sega Genesis collection. I was able to find it locally after looking for a long time. It's so funny because I have a story to tell about that, but I won't go into right now, and it's related to this other guy I was looking to buy it off, and he kind of got a little snippy with me, and I was like, I should turn this into like a reel or some of that, because the guy was kind of like Looney Tunes or whatever. But long story short, happy to have that now. There's not much action in the chat tonight as of yet, So I will ramble on. Just chop. Just gotta stop this. Turn this on. Okay. Okay, just fixing stuff here. Anyways, so long story short, so we went over the thrift store. You know, the thrift store came through this week or whatever. I got some other stuff from the thrift store that's not really toy related. I picked up Gladiator on Blu-ray to show my kids or whatever. And I picked up a House of M #1 comic book. But we won't talk about that stuff here. You know, sometimes stuff catches my eye that I want to pick up. So, but there's been so many weeks where I tell you, like, hey, nothing at the thrift store this week. And the thrift store came through big time this week. It's kind of funny because we're going into spring now. People will probably start to clean out their houses a little bit more. And we will get to see more stuff start to churn to the thrift store. And hopefully we'll find some more vintage G.I. Joes and Transformers. You know, I'm good with modern Transformers as well. It just has to be certain ones. But yeah, obviously I like vintage stuff more or whatever. Anyways, so that is that stuff. And that's what we usually do here first on the channel. So we talked about that stuff. We did the mail calls. So obviously mail calls are kind of like depending if I got stuff in or whatever. And you know, got some stuff. I'm still expecting another, I think 2 things right now in the mail. You never know with the mail, right? Like it's, anyways, long story short. So this week, related to G.I. Joe Classified, the biggest news here now obviously is we got some more pre-orders up that went live. And you know, the big thing is, did you guys pick up any of them? Of course. What we're doing here, we're talking 250th anniversary of the USA Duke went up for sale Walmart and Hasbro Pulse. So I mean, did any of you guys pick this up? I'm not really sure what the feeling is about this guy. I think personally they could have did a little more with him. The repaint is a little weak or whatever. I do think maybe his shirt needed some stars and stripes on it. Personally, that's my opinion. But I mean, for any Americans out there, I do think it's pretty cool. The funny thing was, they actually have this up for pre-order on Walmart Canada. I really did not think that they would put this up on Walmart Canada, but they actually put it up there. So he's available. I mean, I think I wouldn't be surprised if he was a fairly a good seller for them, because you know, a lot of Americans out there, they love their anniversaries and stuff like that. So this is kind of a novelty item. Liquid says he couldn't pay me to put this on his shelf. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's not for me either. But you know what? I kind of figure some people will buy it or whatever, in the US. I was really surprised, it went up on the Canadian website with all the, you know, related politics, which we won't get into here. But, yeah, I was really surprised about that. So that guy's up there, and it's funny because I seen this show up too. Oh shoot. Oh, I hate when it does this. This is not real. This is AI. But somebody still took the time to make it or whatever. But it reminded me of obviously the Duke one or whatever. So I seen this earlier today, and like, see, I mean, the weapons don't need the stars and stripes on it or whatever. But like, at least the character, it gives it a reason to like exist or whatever. Like, I think they should have did more of this with the Duke one, right? Yeah, a flag would have been pretty cool, Liquid. I agree. A flag would have sold it. Not a U.S. flag, just a... Well, see, the thing is, it is meant to obviously be, you know, something for the USA anniversary. So I can't blame them for putting stars and stripes over stuff. I just don't think if it was an anniversary product, I don't think they really did enough with the Duke. They just kind of went with a straight repaint. Whereas this, you know, AI generated Scarlet, I think would have maybe pushed people more to be into the product or whatever. Like I said, I don't think, though, in this case for Scarlet, I don't think the weapons need the stars and stripes on it. That's kind of lame, or that's kind of weird. But I liked how her chest and her boots and her legs all have, like, you know, stars and stripes on it, you know, to emphasize that it's a stars and stripes anniversary product. I think that's kind of cool. Once again, I would not pick this up because, you know, it's not for me or whatever. But I think the effort would have been there if it was more, the Duke one would have been like this as well. That's my opinion. You can tell Hasbro would never pay for that many paint apps. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point, Liquid. That's a good point. Hasbro would never pay for that many paint apps at this scale of a price or whatever. But, you know, I think the effort's there. Maybe, you know, maybe we'll, I don't know, could this turn into a product? I doubt it. But you know what? It's kind of cool anyways. Better than the Duke. What do people call the Duke one? They call him, he looks like, was it Scooby Duke? Scooby Duke, right? Because he looks like Fred from Scooby-Doo a little bit. Anyways, it's kind of funny. So besides that, now I grabbed the worst screenshot ever here, guys. Look, it's like somebody took a screenshot of their monitor, and I don't know why. I just grabbed this one. Anyways, so the other thing that went up. So obviously, Duke is a Walmart exclusive, and they had their collector's con on March 19th, and it went up at 10 o'clock. Along with this guy, the Dire Tech Night Creeper. I think this guy probably sold a little better. People seem to be really into the Dire Tech stuff or whatever, right? You know, it's got the translucent green, you know, like the accessories and the arms. He's kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. He's kind of cool. I like the gray. We've talked before. I would have preferred that he had gray arms, because then you could have just used him as a night creeper, a gray night creeper. He would have been pretty cool. Pretty amazing. But the fact that he has the green translucent arms, you kind of got to just stick with the Dire Tech right now for him. But he went up for pre-order as well on the 19th. I think he sold very well. Of course, you know, anytime, you know, just for information purposes, anytime that both Target or Walmart have exclusives, those exclusives will also be on Hasbro Pulse's website. But Hasbro Pulse only gets 10% of the stock, okay? So that means they're going to sell out fairly fast on Hasbro Pulse, and that it's kind of more to drive the sales to the exclusive retailer, in this case Walmart or Target as well. So something to keep in mind, right? Because a lot of people, they'll only buy from Hasbro Pulse, but it's going to be harder to get from Hasbro Pulse compared to Target and Walmart. Now, a lot of people I hear have problems with Walmart and Target actually fulfilling their pre-orders. You'll always hear stories about how they were canceled or whatever, right? So that kind of sucks, right? You know, there's nothing worse than putting in a pre-order. You think you've secured a figure, and then, you know, for whatever reason, they cancel it, right? That kind of sucks. I have to be honest, knock on wood. I'll knock on wood on my desk here. Anytime I've put in orders from Walmart or Amazon, I haven't had them canceled. So I always find it funny that a lot of people do. I'm like, it's kind of weird, because I've never had one canceled before that I've put in. I find the what's the word? The strategy, obviously, is to order very often. Sorry, no. The strategy is to order very early. Like, I find the longer you wait in the order process, the more chance that, you know, likely that the product will be canceled. So, you know, you got to be there first day, guys. You got to be there first day, second day maybe, to get your pre-order in for these exclusive products. So it's either from Hasbro Pulse or from, you know, the retailer. You got to be there early. And that's my tip of the day. You got to be there early if you want the product. That way, you know, you got to think, like, if the retailer runs out, who's not going to get the product? The person who ordered the first day or the person that ordered the 20th day, right? In theory, if they're doing their stuff right, the person who ordered first in, first out, that's the person who should get the stuff. So you got to order early to get these things. That's always my recommendation. Obviously, if it says it's still in stock, go for it. Try to order it. But sometimes, I guess stuff happens where they run out or they miss a lot of stuff and stuff gets canceled. It sucks. I guess it happens, but order early. I don't know why I keep on want to say order often. No, you don't have to order often. You just need to order early. So that guy is he still in stock though on Walmart's website? If I go to walmart.com and I put in, I'm going to stay on walmart.com and I put in G.I. Joe Classified Dire, what's that, Night Creeper. Let me see. Okay, so I did put it in and he is currently out of stock. He is currently out of stock. So he's currently out of stock. So, I mean, maybe they'll restock him. Now, the funny thing is, Walmart.ca had him in stock too. GIJoe Classified Night Creeper. The G.I. Joe, the Canada website is ridiculously bad. Like, it says they have two figures. Like, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. Like, look, so like, that didn't come up a second ago. So here, look, see, on Canada's website, they have both the Night Creeper and Duke in stock. It's, what am I doing? Sold by Walmart. Sold by Walmart. They got Dawn in stock, and yeah. So they've got like literally the 3 exclusives. Well, Dawn's not really exclusive. She's a Famazon channel, I believe. No, she's not a Famazon channel, so she must be everywhere. Sorry. So they have these guys in stock here in Canada. Do they have? Oops. Do they have the Duke in stock? GIJoe Classified Duke Retro. And it looks like Duke is out of stock as well, right? Yeah, out of stock. So, yeah. So, I mean, they sold like hotcakes in the USA because they're out of stock in both places, right? So, that is kind of crazy. So I'm surprised about that. Like, I figured Hasbro Pulse would be out of stock for them, but I'm surprised that Walmart has ran out so quickly of them. So, I mean, if you need them, you need to find a Canadian friend, I guess, to order them for you. I did not order them for myself. This guy's interesting, but he's not on my shop list right now. I don't need him. He's kind of cool though. I'm looking at him. He's kind of cool, but I don't know if I need him right now. Money's tight around the world right now, and 4% cash back too. I don't know. Dare I order him? I definitely don't need the Duke though. Yeah, I don't need Duke. I don't even like that. It's funny because I don't have that retro Duke. And it's so funny. He looks like Fred from Scooby-Doo with his white shirt and his blonde hair. Oh, look, he's like double fisting. He's like, meet my friends Des and Troy. Right? They got some cool action shots of him here, but yeah, not gonna get to. I want to know what it says on his shovel. What does it say on his shovel? Shoot. Oh, gee, a real American hero. Wherever there's trouble, over land and sea and air, G.I. Joe is there. That's kind of cool that it says that on his shovel. I didn't know what it said. I didn't look it up beforehand. Anyways, so I'm really surprised that they are sold out. Tell me again how they sold like hotcakes when they hit the shelves. Yeah, I know. But that's in the USA, right? So in Canada, no. Anyways, yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Then the other ones that were, recently put up for pre-order were the Zanya Swamp Skier and the Rotclaw, Professor Rotclaw. Now, I had a question for you guys. Professor Rotclaw, you know, are people buying him for the singular character of Professor Rotclaw? Or are people going to buy him for the troop builder of putting them, you know, the alternate head on him, and he's going to be a, I can't remember what kind of Viper he is. Yeah, I can't remember. It's something weird. I can't remember what it is. But like, what's the angle here for people? Like, what are they going to do? What are people going to just buy him for the singular character? Are you going to troop build them with like you know, 5 or 6 or 10 like Velociraptors or whatever? I mean, it's kind of interesting. So I'm not a big fan of the actual character. And I think dinosaurs in G.I. Joe is kind of weird. But I actually do like how they kind of did that, right? Where they did the thing where like he comes with the alternate head, and you can decide, you know, is if one is like the character of the singular character, and then you can make the other ones the troopers. So I kind of like that. And I guess I don't know if they can really do that with anyone else besides, you know, an original character like that guy, because everyone else is either usually a troop builder or a singular unique character. So I can't really think of anyone else that could be done like that off the top of my head. Liquid says, for me, Rotclaw character sucks. The troop head sculpt is much better. Yeah, and that's how I kind of feel as well, Liquid. I'm not a fan of the singular character, but the Viper is not bad. He's kind of cool. He actually kind of reminds me. I found his head. Let's see if I can find a picture just quickly. G.I. Joe Classified Rotclaw. Just give me 1 second here, guys. 1 second. Okay. I'm gonna save this picture. Oh, of course it's a friggin'. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm not very good. Just 1 second. I should have had this done beforehand. I'm trying to find a picture to share to the screen. Just a second now. Sorry. Technical difficulty. Well, not technical difficulties. I'm just not fully prepared like I should be. Okay. See, I'm gonna just cut here. Something save. Downs. And then we're gonna go back here. Display images. We're gonna go back here. Okay. Okay. So there is what the actual Viper helmet looks like, okay? And it's kind of interesting because when I first saw this, I actually thought it was, because, you know, we only really seen the renders when it first came out. When I first saw this, I thought it looked a lot like a Night Creeper helmet, a Night Creeper face. It kind of reminds me of the Night Creeper face or whatever, right? And then the more I looked at it, like it's almost like a combination of the Night Creeper helmet and an Iron Grenadier helmet, because it's got that, like, you know, like the spike on the top of it, and it's kind of got the sides to it, but then it's kind of got like that visor part with the mask or whatever. So it's kind of like they combined both designs of the Iron Grenadier and the Night Creeper to make this. I think it has potential. It does have potential. He looks like a pretty cool, you know, unique Viper for the Cobra organization. Just not a fan of the dinosaur. I don't know if they needed the dinosaur, right? So, whatever. I still remember when I watched Destro's video and he was talking about the dinosaur, and I'm like, there's no way they're doing a dinosaur. There's no way. And then I was like, oh my God, they're doing a dinosaur. So that's kind of crazy. That is crazy. But anyways, he has potential for me. He is, I think here in Canada, he's $74.99 here in Canada. That's a lot of money. I can't pay that much money for him. He'd have to be on clearance at like maybe like, 35 or something like that. I can't 50% off. I can't pay $74.99 for something that I'm not interested in. So, I mean, more power to anyone out there that, there's a lot of people who are completists out there, right? And they got to get every numbered character. This guy, I'm not. I'm so glad I'm not a completist when it comes to GIJoe Classified. So yeah, long story short, not for me. I do think the Trooper version of him looks better than the original character. So yeah, we'll see how people start to use him when some photography comes out, when he gets released to the public. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, so flicking back, main camera. So that is, and then we've got the swamp skier with Zanya. I've already talked in depth that the swamp skier with Zanya is not my jam either. Once again, here in Canada, $79.99 they want to EB Games for her. No, thank you. That's way too expensive. And that's just the regular price for her. It's just that for what they did, I'm not interested in Zanya, and I don't think they did a great job on the swamp skier, the paint apps. I don't think it looks good. Anyways, now I kind of did this out of order. I make notes to myself, right, that I want to talk about some stuff or whatever. Other thing that I came across where I'm looking for, and we'll go back to images. And now, of course, Mr. Chuck Norris himself passed away this week, and that sucks because he's a well-known actor that a lot of people love, and sad to see him go. I made that a little small. And this came up in my feed, and I was like, you know what? In honor of Mr. Chuck Norris, I figured I'd show this off. Once again, like, I did a video on some AI GIJoe stuff for Mask or whatever. It's on the channel. There was another video, obviously, that I could have did where a lot of people did, like, they did Maverick. They did a lot of actors who are in Army movies. They put them out in these GIJoe AI pictures or whatever. And I mean, if Hasbro could ever get the license for these things, I do think they would be fairly popular and sell very well. Like this Chuck Norris, I think, is pretty badass. But I don't think they will ever see that. But I just wanted to, pay the respects to Mr. Chuck Norris. He'll be missed for sure. And grew up on Chuck Norris jokes and stuff like that. So anyways, kind of cool to see him in this like toy form. It would be really badass if they did this, but unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever truly see anything like this from Hasbro. Maybe some third-party people will do something. I don't know. And back to Liquid, back to the chat. Liquid, I 100% agree with you. Never paying full price for pet figs anymore. They sell slowly and discounts come fast. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you on that. I do not like how Hasbro will often shoehorn the pets in there. It increases the price for no reason, especially when the pets aren't warranted or whatever, right? The dinosaur, nobody asked for the dinosaur. Road pig, nobody asked for that, the dog to come with them. You know what I mean? So that's a couple. I mean, even, what's his name? Gildahide. I never know how to say his name properly. That guy, the Dreadnought. He came with 2 pets. He didn't need to come with any pets. And it's a bad decision by Hasbro to do that because it just drives up the price on those deluxe figures. I don't mind you making them like the semi-deluxe figures that come with a few extra accessories. But the minute they throw the pets in there, it really drives up the price, and then nobody buys them at that price. I don't understand why they haven't done ran the numbers on that to see, like, how many times they include the pets and how many times those figures have to go on clearance. I'm not really sure why they haven't included in on that early, ran the numbers to figure that out yet. But whatever. I'm not buying them at the full price. I'll buy them at the discounted price. Like right now, for, I think, if we just go to Amazon, Amazon.com. And oops, that's funny. I'm just want to see. I don't see. Oh man, can't see Gilda here. Oh, there he is. Like, let's go back to here. Amazon.com. Gilda $29.95. Like that's like $2 more than a regular figure in the United States now. He's reduced. And even that $34.99, $44.99 is the full price. Is that the normal price of the deluxe figure? I thought that was the cheaper price. Like, so this guy's $29. And like, what does he come with? He comes with like, he comes with his hat, gun, bow, the other bow, the backpack, then a few knives and a sword. And he comes with these two animals. Like, why does he need to come with the two animals? Like, this should have been like, no, we didn't need to come with this. I mean, they do, I'm going to be honest with you, they do a great job with the animals. They make them super articulated and they look great, but we don't need them. They're just going to be like thrown in a box somewhere or whatever, for the most part. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that enjoy them, but I don't for sure. I'd much rather a cheaper figure than getting, the figures with the animals. That's just my opinion. So yeah, so he's $29. That's a great price. If you haven't gotten him as of yet, he's on my Amazon store if you need him or whatever. Of course, the Amazon stores are always open in United States and Canada. If you ever need anything, when you buy stuff, I get like 2 or 3% commission for that or whatever. Anyway, something to check out if you're ever looking for something. I usually update the hot deals section in both the USA and Canadian websites, stores, weekly, because we all got to get deals where we can or whatever. And I usually advertise that on both Twitter and YouTube community page when a hot deal is out there that you got to get. I have some stuff in my cart right now. I'm on the fence. I might get some Super 7 figures. I've been on the fence for Super 7 for a while, but there's some good ones on sale right now. Cobra Commander and a Destro. I might get those. I might get Pythona. I'm not really sure. And then they've got that Transformers Devastation Optimus Prime that has been in my cart for about 2 months right now. He's $16 American. Like that's pretty cheap. $16 American. You can't beat that. Go back to main here. Where's I'm looking for? I'm looking for here, yeah. But yeah. So I mean, where are we talking? I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought here. I gotta get a little liquid here in me, because talking so much drives me out after a while. Let's see. So we talked about Rockclaw and the Troopers. Now, where's I did put a poll up here. Where did the poll go? So, obviously, if you haven't answered the poll, please click the poll. That'd be great. Got some stuff here. State of GIJoe classified in 2026. Hasbro, HasLab options, and vintage toys you collect. That's the leading. Nobody likes to talk about Transformers, guys. I advertise this as a Transformers and a G.I.Joe stream, and nobody ever wants to talk about Transformers. The news in the Transformer scene has been a little slow lately, in my eyes. So I find there's not much to talk about lately. Yeah, I don't know. I got a bunch of stuff here on my desk that I'm going through. I got to sell or whatever. Got a Generation 1 Action Master blaster. I got this beauty. Oh man, Mr. Shaky Legs himself. Soundwave. I got so much stuff here on my desk that I have to clean up. It's so messy. Anyways, like it's so messy. And you know what's funny, guys? I clean it off like all the time, and the stuff literally goes in like I have like bins. I'm like, okay, this is the the clean bin, and then it just fills up, and I don't know how to control it. Oops. Okay, so you know what I did? So I did a video for the channel. So the last 2 videos on the channel have been about classified, and people seem to like them. So I don't know if I'm turning more into a G.I. Joe channel now. I'm not really sure. I do enjoy my Transformers stuff as well. So I don't know. But for these streams, I do talk more G.I. Joe, classified, and vintage stuff for now. We'll see how it goes. It's kind of always liquid, right? Liquid. It's always liquid. You know, the stuff changes or whatever. I'm good to talk about whatever. So I put the last 2 videos on the channels. On the channel have been one about the state of G.I. Joe Classified in 2026, which you guys apparently want to talk about, and the other one was the HasLab one. Quickly, just to talk about the HasLab one. So the video went up on Saturday morning, and you know, this is the thing. I always talk about this, and I think people probably get annoyed with me or whatever, but I don't consider myself a fanboy, okay? Fanboys out there go a little too wild with stuff. They think, you know, everything is going to go their way, and they don't understand that Hasbro's in the business of making money. And you know what? Look, I'm not defending what Hasbro does, because Hasbro does some really weird things sometimes. But sometimes you do have to understand they do things from the point of a business where they're trying to make a profit. And so I talked about the state of HasLab. What I personally think the HasLab options are for June, okay? I kind of missed a small smidgen fact in my video. Go watch the video. It's a pretty good video. So 2 out of the 3 options that I went with are water vehicles. Now, apparently, maybe Lenny or somebody already said they can't do water vehicles because potentially, you know, electronics and water don't mix. And you know what? That makes perfect sense, okay? That makes perfect sense. But I would say to them for that, I don't need electronics in my HasLab. They don't need to have electronics. I think it's kind of annoying that you do have electronics in them, because the electronics just drives up the price more. So like let's be real. You have the Dragonfly. It has lights in it. And, you know, how often do those lights get turned on? Or the lights in the Hiss tank. How often do they get turned on? How often will you turn the lights on in your Snowcat? Like, these are the things. Like, when are you going to turn those lights on? So, does it need to come with lights? No. If they removed the need for electronics and gave me more details, more accessories, better stretch goals, I would be much happier as a customer. John, I'll get back to you in a second about Transformers. So like, I mean, I would be much happier as a customer if they didn't have those things, because guess what? That would mean a cheaper, more affordable product for the average consumer. I can't afford to spend $300 US on a vehicle that's going to sit on my shelf. And, you know, I'm not a photographer. I'm not going to do dioramas with it. You know, like, it's just going to sit and it's part of my collection or whatever, right? So, like, I don't want to spend that much money on HasLabs. I would love to have them. Currently, I have one of the 4 G.I. Joe ones, right? I only have the Dragonfly because I really liked the Dragonfly, so I made sure I purchased it. I really would have liked the Cobra Rattler, but I didn't get it. And I didn't like the Snowcat. I didn't think it was worth the money and for what they did with it. And I didn't get the Hiss tank because back in the day, it seemed like a lot of money. So, you know what? I'm not a HasLab guy. I haven't got any of the Transformer ones. Because I think the prices are a little extreme at times. That's just my opinion, okay? My opinion. So I talked about the HasLab options because there's two things ongoing now, right? With GI Joe Classified. We have the HasLabs that get teased in June, get revealed at San Diego Comic-Con in July, and then put up for order for 45 days. And then, it takes a year and a half or so to get them to the customer. That's the first thing we have. Now we also have made to order vehicles. And I accidentally referred, you'll see it in the video if you watch the video, I accidentally referred made to order in direct to order in the video. I mean, they basically mean the same thing. Made to order, direct to order. I should have realized that I was saying direct to order instead of made to order, but I didn't. The average G.I. Joe fan knows what I meant by it. Made to order is obviously meant that people can order as many as they want, and they will fill those orders. Direct to order kind of means more like you're ordering directly from the company compared to like retailers. But you knew what I meant in the video. I would hope so. Long story short, we do have options, right? So we're going to get a HasLab, and we're probably going to get an X direct to order. But like, we don't know what they are going to be right now. But based on what I said in my video, which I truly believe, because I kind of all base this stuff on, facts that we know, but all speculation based on those facts, is that, like, in theory, the insider that contacted Destro as a spirit animal, he said, or they said, there is a Cobra moccasin ready to go. And, could it be a direct to order? Could it be a HasLab? Maybe it's not going to be a HasLab because it doesn't have it shouldn't have electronics or whatever. But it still gets back to my point where if they made me a kick-ass moccasin that could hold like several troops, and it came with a bunch of bitchin' stretch goals, and it came with like a lot of cool accessories, I don't care if it doesn't have electronics. I don't need it to have electronics to sell it to me. Like, seriously. So if just say a moccasin had electronics on it, what are they going to do for the electronics? They're going to what? Put some headlights in the front of it, some fog lights, and what else are they going to do for that? Maybe there's some gun sound effects or something like that. I don't think so. That seems stupid and worthless. So like, maybe they add a spotlight to it and there's a spotlight to it. I don't really know, but I would much rather have no electronics and just a better product. So that's my rant on that. So people say, no, you can't have a boat as a HasLab because it's got to have electronics. It doesn't have to have electronics. That's just, once again, just like the figures with the animals, that's just Hasbro raising the price for no reason. Doesn't add anything to it. So my other thing, the moccasin is a potential. It's either going to be a HasLab or it's going to be a made to order further down the line. I think it's weird further down the line because one would think that the next, if they're going to do another one, made to order would possibly be a G.I. Joe vehicle. So that means we'd have to wait 2 years for this moccasin to come out. G.I. Joe Classified might not be even around in 2 years. Of course it will, but there's a chance it might not be. But so I think that's weird to wait that long. So that was one of my options. The other option, which I do believe, I don't care what people say, I do believe, based on how much people love Dreadnoks, I do think the Thunder Machine stands the best chance of being this year's HasLab. It's a Cobra vehicle. They can make it big, make sure it fits a bunch of people in it or whatever, give it some badass accessories, give it some kick-ass stretch goals, and make it happen. Now, a lot of people don't agree with that. That's fine. You're allowed to. But that's what I think is going to happen. But then the third option, which a lot of people out there want, they want to see a Cobra Moray be one of the options. And once again, apparently we can't have that because it has electronics. But why do we need the Cobra Moray to have electronics? Tell me what the Cobra Moray is going to do with electronics. What is it going to do? Have, like, the spotlight have a little light in it? And, have some engine sounds or something like that. Once again, you don't need those electronics to make a good HasLab product or whatever, right? My problem with the Moray is I think I would have to be too big. Like it'd have to be like this big, you know, like where's the camera? Like this big to fit like 2 guys in it, a guy in the turret, some guys in the back or whatever. I think it's be too big. And then big equals expensive. And people are like, oh, I got tons of money. No, not everyone has tons of money. I bet you if we got the stats, I bet you the Snow Cat sold the worst because the money, the value was not there compared to the other HasLabs. And so like if the money value is not there, people aren't not going to just blindly buy your product. So I don't know. We'll see. They're my options. That's what I have. I only put the Moray in there because a lot of people bring it up. They want to see the killer whale and the Moray. I think they're too big, even for HasLab. That's my personal opinion. But a lot of people want to see it. We'll see it. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, what are we at now? We're at the getting close to the end of March. So we got April, May, and then GIJoe June starts in June. And by like the 25th of June, I'm sorry, I'm looking at dates here. If I go to June, GIJoe June usually has events on Tuesdays, I believe. So June 23rd or June 30th, we should know what the HasLab is because there'll be a tease. We'll have rumors by then. We'll know what it is by then. So it's coming up, right? So we'll know soon enough. We'll know soon enough. So that's my opinion. Go watch my video though. I go a lot more in depth about it, more serious. It's a good video. I talk to the camera. If you're new here, think about hitting the like button as well. Hit the subscribe button. We do try to do this stream every Sunday. It's usually the late night stream. We usually start at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, but I think that might have to change now. I'll have to provide you details for next week's stream later in the week. So we might have to change till 10:30 or maybe just 11 o'clock. I'm not sure. Just a smidge earlier so I can get to bed and I have to drive my son to rugby in the morning at 6 a.m. Yeah, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And then the other video that I did recently about GIJoe Classified was I did do sort of the state of the line and how I felt it was going. And, you know, is it a little lost its way a little bit, right? So watch that video too if you could. But first, before we talk about that, we'll get back to John Battle 5796. He's not happy with the Voyager increase. So the prices are going up on everything, especially Transformers. Transformers are really high priced right now. And like, I don't usually buy a lot of retail anymore because the prices are really, really high. Recently, so I mean, usually when stuff goes on clearance, it's a great time to pick stuff up. And sorry, I'm looking for a picture here, guys. I'm looking for a quick picture. I was just recently at my local Walmart. And I hate when it does that. I'm so bad. I don't know how to control what size it comes in at. It always comes in at such a big size. So yeah, recently I I was recently at my local Walmart, and the new retro figure Transformers were out. So they had the Wheelie and the Outback, and I did shorts for those. Actually, I recorded while I was in the store, and I went to my car and I recorded a little bit of audio, and I posted them right away. Don't usually do that, but I thought it was kind of cool. Anyway, so here in Canada, it's kind of weird because as soon as the new retros come out, they push the other ones off to clearance. So Sea Spray and Brawn retros were down to $11 Canadian, which would probably be about $7 or $8 American. So that's a pretty hot deal, right? So that's a pretty sweet deal. If you're in Canada, you should check your Walmarts for deals on these guys. Oh yeah, John. Yeah, the $10 jump for the Voyagers is crazy. It is crazy. Like that is a crazy. That's a lot of money, right? Like I don't know how they are justifying that. Like, why is it so expensive for the Voyagers, right? Um, that sucks because I'm just so glad for me. I was able to get all of the combiner parts that I needed. Well, I mean, that's a lie. The swindle for Bruticus will go up in price now because the price went up, right? Um, hey Shane, I hope your baseball draft's going good. So Swindle is the last one we're all waiting for to pre-order for Bruticus. Swindle is a Voyager, so that means the price has gone up in Swindle. I was gonna say I was so glad I got in, and finished all of my combiners before the price went up, but I just realized that Swindle is a combiner, a Voyager, so that price will increase. That sucks. I don't understand why Swindle hasn't gone up in up for pre-order as of yet. They've been holding on to that one for a long time. Anyways, that's kind of weird. But yes, that does suck. I don't know what to tell you about that one. Hasab has to be big. I never heard anything about electronics not allowed in the water. I don't know, Shane. Somebody said that on the comments on my new video. They said that Lenny said something that they can't do water vehicles because of the electronics. I don't know if that's official or somebody's just extracting that from what he said. I'm not really sure. I mean, in a theory, it kind of makes sense, but I mean, you know, there's plenty of water toys out there that have electronics in them. So, I mean, it's not like it's never been done before. So, I personally would just rather them not put electronics in it at all. They don't need electronics. They don't, like, nobody is buying these HasLabs based on how the electronics work in them, right? Like, sure, they're neat or an added feature, but like nobody's been like, oh shoot, I'm not gonna buy that his tank because it doesn't have electronics. Well, if they hadn't put electronics in the his tank, you would have not known any different, and people would have bought it, and they would have not cared if there was electronics in the Dragonfly, and or going down the line because you don't need it. It doesn't add any benefit to it, right? Anyways, oops, where'd you guys go? So, anyways, so that's my opinion. But related to so the Transformers does suck that the price is going up. Everything's going up. Like the thing is, and this was part of the it leads into my story about the state of the classified figures, is that everything is going up in price. And see, companies, they have this idea that me and you just have infinite money and that, we'll continue to buy all these products. We're like, oh, hey, look, I'll just keep on buying, these products, even though they're going up in price, right? Because I have infinite money, you have infinite money, and they forget that, like, maybe I collect GIJoe, and I also collect Transformers, and I also collect Xbox games or whatever, you know what I mean? I don't have infinite money, right? And you don't have infinite money. Now, you might be better off than I am, and you can afford to buy more, but there's going to be a ceiling where eventually it goes up too much and then you won't be able to buy it. And then I'll be out and then you'll be out later. So this is the thing. Like, I understand that, manufacturing goes up in price and, they want to pass the price off to the consumer, but it's not going to last forever, right? Like, John here says, like, the Transformers are going too up and too much. And eventually John and myself are going to be like, well, I don't want to buy them anymore. Like, literally the only Transformer that I can think of right now that's on my radar is Swindle. That's the only one. Like, I can't think of anything that they've revealed recently. A Power Glide. I'll probably get Power Glide. I pre-order Power Glide. Oh yeah, and sorry. I forgot about the recent pre-orders for Transformers. So yeah, Skywarp and Shockwave and Power Glide, they are the ones I'm interested in. But like after some of those, I don't really know, because money's tight, and GIJoe is cool too, and sometimes. Sorry guys, I don't mean to whine here, by the way. Sometimes I'd also rather spend stuff on my spend money on my vintage collection, right? So it's all, I don't have infinite money to spend on classified and Transformers based on Hasbro constantly raising the price. And I'm assuming a lot of you guys out there in YouTube land feel the same, right? Yeah, that's my opinion. So state of the classified, I do have some concerns about classified. In the fact, and this is all stated in the video. If you could watch the video, that'd be great too. It gets a bit more concise. But like, look, anytime I say this line in the video. Anytime you walk into a store and you were going to get, I don't know where my newer ones are. You're going to get wetsuit, and you're like, I'm walking into the store. I'm walking into Target. I'm walking to Walmart to get wetsuit. And you were going to buy him, but then you walk in there and there's a clearance sticker on him and says, oh shoot, he's like 50% off. Well, hot dang, that's a hot deal for me because I was going in to buy him anyways at full price. Anytime you can get stuff on clearance, it's a great deal for you and me as the consumer. But the problem is, too much stuff goes on clearance, and then the company starts to be like, whoa, is this stuff selling? Why is it all going on clearance? Nobody's buying this stuff up. And then it causes problems for the high ups, and they're not making money. And then, they have to maybe raise the price. Or maybe they have to consider like, well, do we pump as much money into this? Because we don't seem to be making as much money back. So like, what are we going to do, right? So anytime clearance, it works great for the consumer. It's not great necessarily for the company. And there's been so much GIJoe clearance recently, right? Yeah, Shane, you're right. Target has so much in clearance, and Canada doesn't get nothing. I don't, I've talked about this before. I don't understand like Ross in United States gets so much stuff, and like here at like Winners and TJ Maxx, we don't get anything. Like nothing here in Canada. Like I actually took a video of it. I was going to make a reel of it. Like, we get absolute slop toy selection at our discounted stores like Winners and TJ Maxx and Marshalls and stuff like that, which is the same brand as TJ Maxx and Marshalls in the States or whatever. And Ross is not connected to them, I don't think, but it's still the same type of store, right? Where stuff gets resold. And we get absolute slop here in Canada. And I don't understand it because if somebody they would just pick them up and ship them to Canada, they would sell because people would be like, oh my God, like stuff's at Winners, stuff's at these stores. It has happened 5, 6, 10 years ago. We used to get some good stuff, but some reason the supply stopped and we don't get anything. We used to get like Star Wars Clone Wars vehicles. I remember there was a Star Wars Clone Wars vehicle, oh shoot, the Night Watch or something like that. It was a Mandalorian vehicle, and it was not released in the United States, and it came to Winners, and like American collectors were like, please sell it to us, because like it never went to the United States. It was like, didn't make it there, but it just ended up in our Canadian discounted stores or whatever. I'm not really sure why. I guess it was a late wave run or whatever. Anyways, like that used to happen, but it doesn't happen anymore. Sorry. But Shane says, but didn't the stores already pay Hasbro and that it's up to the big stores to sell it how they want? Yeah, I'm not really sure the dynamics of that. You're right. I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert in that or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, in theory, you would think that Hasbro probably has, like, if they make so many and they send it out to Walmart, send it out to Target, and then like they're not selling, they're like, well, we got more, guys. We want to send you some. They're like, no, we don't want any more. It's going to go on clearance. So you would think Hasbro would end up with some kind of excess glut of it, and that they must have to decide, well, you know what? We're going to send it to Ross. We're going to send it to some of these other stores. So like, hey, the guys in Canada, let's send some to them or whatever, right? Because we have so much of it. I don't know how it works exactly, but you know, it seemed to work like that in the past. Yeah, but the cost falls on the stores for holding out instead of putting them on shelves on to sale. Yeah, I guess so. Zoran, Mr. Zoran, you are not late. The stream started early tonight. It started at 10:30. It started 1 hour earlier because I have a super early morning coming, so I had to start it earlier. Zoran says, today I found Age of the Primes Escalation Excelsion at Walmart for $11. Yeah, I've seen that wave, the two exclusives. Sideways is available for $11 as well. I just had that up on screen as well, actually. Zoran, see, these guys were at my local Walmart. The retros have been pushed to clearance section. $11. That's a hot deal for $11. So yeah, Zoran, if you don't have these guys should be on clearance as well. I do. Did I take a picture? I don't know. I had a picture of him, but I didn't. I'm trying to see here. I thought I took a picture of the when I seen Sideways on clearance as well, but I don't seem to have it. Sorry, Mr. Zoran. That's weird. I really thought I did take a picture. Oh yeah, it's right here. Sorry, 1 second. Download. And then I go browse. Yeah. $11. Yeah, you can't beat $11 for a deluxe. That's a pretty sweet deal here in Canada. Yeah, Zoran, it's funny. I actually paid $17 for my sea spray. And so yeah, you're right. It's like, oh, I feel dirty now that's on sale for $11. If you're bronze, if you paid $15, you might be able to go back and get it price adjusted and get the $4 back. I don't know if it's worth your time. How many Walmarts do you have in your area, Zoran? Like, I think I have like 5 or 6. I'm not sure. Yeah. So I mean, I get lucky. They're usually around. I've seen this guy. There was only one left at this store. I took a picture for somebody and posted it locally to see if anybody wanted to pick them up. Yeah, probably not worth it to go back for $4. Oh yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah. So yeah, you got options if you're still looking for them. So have you seen the retro on sale for $11 at your area? You said it was a 15. Might have been, it's kind of weird. I seen them on sale for 15, and then like a few days later they were 11. So they're trying to get rid of them. This is what happens. Like the Wheelie and the Outback came out, and I think they're in Canada. They're $37. No, thank you. That's way too much money for a deluxe. And the same thing, if they do another wave, soon the Wheelie and the Outback will be shelf warmers. If they do another wave, as soon as the new wave comes out, the other ones will be pushed to clearance. I might get an Outback if he was $10 or $12. I like the face sculpt on the Outback, but not for $37. No way, not for $37. Because like, what else do I got here? What else? Oh yes. See what else pictures I have. Yeah. So there was the new wave of retro that I seen at my local Walmart. That's across from my work. It's really close. $37. That's insane. The wheelie looks kind of cool. Like, I would pick up wheelie on clearance. He looks well done, and so does Outback, but not worth this price or whatever, right? And it's even like, for this, it's kind of weird, right? Because they're trying to hit the retro market here. But like, I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't feel like these are like, because it's not right. Like, if they really wanted to do retro packaging, they should have put them in a box, not on a blister card or whatever, right? Or even like, I'm assuming the Outback, if it was going to replicate, and maybe the wheelie as well, if they were going to replicate the actual Generation 1 releases, shouldn't they be in vehicle mode on the package? Like, then, if they did that, I think they might have actually sold a little bit more, because then they would be more accurately representing the retro figure that they're trying to represent. So that's my opinion about that. So that was these guys. They also had, first time I've seen these guys in the store. These guys are $40. $40. Like I guess they upped the price of them for like $3 or $4 because they had, it's a license from Hot Wheels. Like, they are not worth $40, guys. Like, that is crazy. That is absolutely insane. Zoran says, I'll do Outback for $15. I'd buy that for $1, says Shane. I'd buy a lot of stuff for $1. $1, yeah. Weren't this back in the day very small? The retros, I'm assuming you're talking about the retros. Yeah, like they were like mini bots. Like, they're only like this big, right? But now they've upscaled them to the deluxe stage. So oh yeah, look, it's funny. So this is a where's my screen? So this is a retro reissue. Yeah, it's really bright here, guys. And you can see that they're very small. So this card's not very big. This is a reissue. So, I mean, they have them in robot form. So maybe they did come in robot form. I thought they came in vehicle form. I'm sorry. I'm not a true historian. Zoran says, I don't mind the retro card. Yeah, but do you keep them on the retro card or do you open them? Like, do you throw that packaging out? The cost of plastic packaging, yeah. Zoran, I agree. I want the vehicles in packaging like the good old days, but we know why Hasbro is doing bot forms to justify charging us more because they want to fool us into thinking we're getting, yeah. I mean, they seem, obviously they're expanded. They're larger in bot form. So, I mean, I guess I see where you're coming from on that. You know, it's all a mental game, right? Hasbro, they're playing mental games with us, thinking that they're larger, so they're worth more. It makes sense. I think it'd be cooler if they were in the vehicle mode, though. How's the old... I'm just looking at the poll here, guys. So... briefly, just go over, we talked about like some other vintage toys that I collect earlier. We talked about Mask. I'm really excited to add some of these things to my Mask collection based on the mail call. Zoran, you missed the mail call earlier. Mask figure with the helmet. And then, guys, I didn't talk about this one. Let me just open this here for a second. Garbage. This is, it's sealed up here. It is a door to my Rhino, my Mask Rhino. So I was missing this door. This will go bloop, pop right in, and that's pretty sweet. That came there as well. And then, so besides GIJoe and Transformers, I collect Masks, I collect Centurions. This thing has been on my desk for a while now. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. This thing is really sweet. I haven't found a spot to put it yet. It's so big and it's so cool. This thing, you press this thing and this thing like flies off. Like, it might dent the monitor. This is actually not good. I never even thought about that. If I accidentally press this or it gets knocked, it would probably destroy the monitor. I actually might have to move that. Okay, I'll think about that. So let's forget about that one. Favorite Generation 1 Transformers? So you can't really tell, but this is all Generation 1 Transformers. And these two over here are all Generation 1 Transformers. I was telling somebody earlier, who was I telling? Can't remember. But with my G.I. Joe and my Transformer collection, I'm kind of at a state now where, like, I kind of like almost have like my vintage stuff. Sorry, I'm almost at a state where I've reached as much as I can buy. Like, there's not much else that I need. Even like one of the last G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero figures that I was looking for. Now, let me get you straight. Set you straight for a second. I'm not pretending that I have every single G.I. Joe or every single Generation 1 Transformer. I just mean what I'm personally interested in, right? So one of the last figures that I needed was the AWAC guy that flies the Firebat. And I got that last week from a local friend. And he's up there in my Firebat. So like for figures, there's not many figures for a Real American Hero that I need. I have hundreds of them. You know, oh my God. Zoran's starting to talk about his Battle Force 2000 again. Oh my God. Ha! It's Battle Force 2000. Get out of here, bro. Battle Force 2000. Oh my God. Hey, David. Welcome to the chat. Where was I going with that, guys? I'm totally lost my train of thought with your Battle Force 2000. Threw me off the chat. So wait now. I missed this. Wait now. So let's go back in the chat. So John Battle says, I've been buying third-party Transformers and getting more and more for my buck than Hasbro, but I like the sales no matter what. Third-party Transformers are pretty sweet. They're expensive though, but the detail on them is pretty awesome. So John, that's a cool thing to collect. I also do Masterpiece, and I'm pretty much caught up on a bunch of that stuff too. We'll see now though, because in July I'm going to TFCon Toronto. And that's where I do a lot of my wheeling and dealing for Transformers. You'll see me come home with a lot of Transformers in July. You know what's funny, guys? I actually, was it last year when I went to TFCon? I go every year. I've been going for like 15 years. I actually did a vlog and I forgot to edit it. And I forgot to publish it. I don't know. I don't know if anyone wants to see that. I probably should do it just for the sake of doing it. Anyways, we'll see. I probably should get to doing that. I should probably do that. I got to make a note about myself to do that. That's pretty cool about the third parties, John. And then Zoran says, I collect the Ear Raiders, currently have 0. How do you collect Ear Raiders and have 0? What does that even mean? Zoran is the guy is Echelon, Windcharger, and a couple Hot Wheel Premiums. I got Windcharger as well. Yeah, I mean, dude, if you're at TFCon, I go every year, so I'll be there. No matter if you go or not, I'll be there. If you're in the area, drop by. As long as you're not an axe murderer, okay? Because you seem a little crazy sometimes. So, as long as you're a cool guy, yeah, we can totally meet up. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'll be there for sure. I can't wait. Love TFCon. Like I said, been going for about 15 years. And it's the #1 place. I don't even usually buy a lot of Transformers at retail anymore. I usually just get them there. Because you can always get sweet deals. I got all these Transformers extras that are on my desk here. Like my, this Generation 1 Grimlock that's in mint condition. All these guys, I end up bringing all this stuff to TFCon, and it usually sells, and I usually get money, and I usually buy more stuff or whatever. So that's what I usually do. TF is a 2-day event. It's a 3-day event. It starts Friday evening. Goes Saturday, goes Sunday. The vendors aren't open on Fridays. The vendors open on Saturday and Sunday. But I usually drive up Saturday morning. I leave here at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Takes me 4.5 hours to get there. Go to the show and stay overnight and then leave Sunday morning. It's a good time. If you're into Transformers, they used to do the show differently where they would have one day Transformers and a second day of more retro 80s stuff. They got rid of that. I miss that because I don't really see the point of doing 2 days of Transformer stuff because it's basically the same stuff for both days. I liked the variety of adding the 80s stuff. You'd be able to get some G.I. Joe, maybe some Mask, maybe some Centurion stuff. But, well, anyways, we'll see. Zoran, I can't remember which area are you? Where are you located? Like, how far is it from where you're located? It's in Mississauga. So how long does it take you to get there? I know gas is expensive, but I'm going anyway. I already have the hotel booked, so I'm going. Anyways, what was the other things in the? So we talked about HasLab. I already went through that. We talked about. Oh, we didn't really finish the stated the classified. You're in Hamilton, okay. Oh yeah, it's in Mississauga. Yeah, it's in Mississauga. Yeah, that's not too far then. Yeah, you can do 40 minutes. Even if you just came up for a couple hours or whatever, yeah, you'd be okay. But yeah, state of classified. The thing with classified, right? You're not gonna find any Battle Force 2000 at TFCon. Oh my gosh, crazy! Like, do you actually not have all the figures? Like, are you looking for the figures or some of the vehicles? Like, what is your state of Battle Force 2000? I can't remember what you said originally. I don't know if this is an ongoing joke that you're not really interested in them. For the admission price, I think it's like it might be $50 or something for the weekend, or for the day it might be, I think it's like 25, maybe 30. I'm not really sure. I usually go for both days, so it usually costs me about $55 or $60, I guess. I only have 2 vintage Battlefield. Oh, and it figures. Okay, I have some parts to the vehicles. If you ever find some of the vehicles, or I can sell you the parts or whatever. That's for both days. $50 is for both days. You can go for just Saturday, and or even if you just go for Sunday, it's even cheaper. It might be like $20 on Sunday. If you just go for the one day, it's a bit more affordable. I'm a little more hardcore when it comes to my Transformers, so I gotta go for both days. And I'm also driving 4 hours to get there, so I gotta make sure it's worth my while. Oh, dude, I should make sure. Oh, it's this thing. What time is it? Oh shoot, it's 12 o'clock, guys. Stream's going pretty good. So I mean, it's great that some people dropped by, actually. So I did start earlier this week, just because of a family thing, guys. So it will be something to consider for next week. I don't know if it'll start early, 10:30. I'm not really sure. Keep an eye on the channel when I throw up the scheduled live stream. I usually try to do that the day of. And it might be 10:30, might be 11 o'clock. I don't think it will be 11:30. I think it will be earlier than 11:30 for next week. Zoran has something to ask me. Go, Zoran, go. There's usually lots of stuff left on Sunday, though. There's a lot of people have a lot of stuff, right? But see, the thing for me with the TFCon is it's the side deals, the deals that you do outside the convention that are usually well worth it. And obviously that's going to be heavy Transformer related stuff, compared to any 80s stuff. I'm waiting for Zoran to ask me something. It says, "Hey, Swish, something to ask you." How much of an ask is this going to be? Waiting. I don't need to play the Jeopardy music, do I? Do 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 do. Oh, you must have. Have you noticed a classified listing on Amazon for a Fig released on April 3rd for $51 but has no name or thumbnail image? I heard about that. Is that on Amazon Canada or Amazon USA? I heard somebody talking about that somewhere. I don't know if it was in one of my groups or whatever. And people aren't sure what it is, hey? Do you have a link for it? If you had a link for it, post it in the chat so we can all take a look. But like April 3rd's coming pretty quick, so I mean, I don't know what it would be. Send me the link. I want to see the link. I guess I could try to find it myself. Oh yes, I forgot about that. You're right. It's the Legacy Special Forces figure. Yeah, I think Shane's on the right path with that. The Legacy. So obviously April 3rd, is April 3rd a Tuesday? April 3rd's a Friday. Huh. Because, I mean, you would think, that one hasn't gone out for pre-order yet. So are they going to do an early April stream with some pre-orders? I don't know. But did you see that, guys? I'm starting to get tired. I yawned. Did you see that? Oh, the special, like the, did I have a picture of it? Let me see. GIJoe Classified Special Forces. This guy. We'll download, and we'll go to display images. It would be this guy, Mr. Zoran. Yeah, it'd be this guy. He comes with a crap ton of stuff. Yeah, no worries, dude. I had forgotten. Yeah, I'd forgotten that this is what it was supposed to be in theory. Because I mean, this fits the bill. He's a deluxe figure. He's got to be a bit more expensive, and they're gonna have an early April stream. They'll put up some new stuff for pre-order, including this guy. Because are we still missing a pre-order for one character? I can't remember. Yeah, I mean, that's the price of things here in Canada, right? So he does come with a ton of accessories, a ton of weapons, faces, and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'd rather them include a bunch of accessories like this guy than a stupid pet like Roadblock or like Rotclaw. So, I mean, anyways, at least you get a ton of accessories. Now, Zartan Ninja Force is already out. He's available at EB Games and a few other places. I think the fan channels or whatever. So Zartan's are already out and available. Okay, so it is getting later, guys. I do have to get up super early in the morning. So, like I said, I think we're gonna end it right there. We did an hour and a half. Pretty good stream. I'm glad some people were able to show up. I know I did start earlier to this week or whatever. But so yeah, if you haven't done already, think about hitting that like and the subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Think about hitting the channel. Watch some of the new videos on Classified. That'd be great as well. Give me your opinions. I see some of you guys in the comments. I know I've seen Carlos in the comments. He's usually a regular on the channel. So yeah, I really appreciate you. We're building a community here. It's totally awesome. I got a pre-order for Zartan at EB Electronics Boutique. Yeah, EB Games, always a decent spot to pre-order. I actually pre-ordered. When did I pre-order there the other day? I got my Age of the Primes Onslaught to build Bruticus pre-ordered there, and then it came up on Walmart, so I double booked. I pre-ordered on Walmart as well. just so I double booked to make sure I was able to get one because I need him to build Bruticus. Anyways, okay, we're gonna call it right there, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for coming along. I do really appreciate you guys showing up. Check out the Amazon links if you want to pre-order anything as well. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we will see you next week. Thanks, Zoran, for showing up, and we can talk more TFCon next time. Billionaire, oh my God, I missed you. You're here, yo, Joe. You're late coming. We started earlier this week, so sorry about that. I'll try to get more details out on when the next week's stream is earlier on in the week so people can adjust or whatever and see if they want to show up. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, anyways, thank you so much, guys, for showing up, and we'll catch you next week, hopefully. And you know what? Hopefully we get some good Joe news and some good Transformer news this week. Bye, and we'll talk to you next week. Out.